Now with my guests, Washington Examiner reporter Sarah Bedford and former mayor of Miami Beach, Philip Levine. Thank you very much indeed for being here. Sarah, let me start with you. Everybody had a lot of fun with the DeSantis debacle, disaster, whatever you want to call it this week. But I do think, once we get beyond that, the real question is whether that message that he's got of this, really taking on America's institutions and the kind of woke direction the country's been in, that's really going to be what we're going to determine his campaign is going to succeed, is how we'll determine that is whether or not that resonates. Do you agree?
I do. And I think, one silver lining of that launch event was that when it finally got going and people were able to listen in, he was able to sort of address a lot of his negatives one by one, right? It was the clearest answer he'd given, for example, in defense of education policies that his critics have described as book banning, keeping inappropriate books out of school libraries. He was able to offer a really compelling defense of that criticism and a number of others that are typically the go-tos for liberals attacking him. At this stage, I really don't think there's a lot of value in attacking Donald Trump head on. Trump supporters, as I'm sure you know, are very protective of Donald Trump. They tend to be very passionate. And DeSantis is going to need them to still be willing to give him a chance down the line. So he can't really start off by insulting their favorite person in the world. He really has to make the case that he can do what Trump does better before he starts going after Trump directly.
Philip, were you impressed with what DeSantis had to say this week by his message?
I think, Jerry, is this. You cannot argue with success. Governor DeSantis has done very well in the state of Florida, and he's been incredibly effective. And as a Democrat, I could say that. So if you believe in his policies and you'd like to see those policies nationwide, Donald Trump is probably not the right guy for the job because obviously Governor DeSantis has shown that he can get it done. But as far as confronting Trump, listen, we know something. The reality is even during World War II, the Allies had to eventually land in Normandy. It was called D-Day. So I think that we're going to have a D-Day for Donald Trump for Ron DeSantis. He's going to have to land his troops on Donald Trump's continent. And that's going to have to happen sooner than later for him to actually get across that threshold.
Sarah, just very briefly, one thing that is interesting, it does look like DeSantis is kind of attacking Trump from the right a little bit over issues like abortion, or if you like, Trump's attacking back from the left on issues like abortion, on some of the things that Trump did while in office, particularly on things like COVID. Is that going to be effective?
I do. I think, DeSantis laid the groundwork to be able to say, I'm going to come in and clean up these agencies, particularly the DOJ and the FBI, in a way that Trump, we already know, was unable to. And he will never be able to because of the cloud of scandal that has followed him in a legal context. But I can do what Trump didn't, particularly on cleaning out these federal agencies. That I think will be a pretty effective line because we sort of already know the kinds of things that Trump will be capable of in office, and that wasn't one of them.